Well, what did you do?
What?
I don't know what I done.
No, stop babying him.
Like
Stop.
Where is he? What is he doing? He's trying to beef his manager. Crash it.
Do you want to sit up, Anita, for this one?
Sorry, apologies, my bad.
I'll
start digging.
Go there, man.
Fight.
You know what?
Grit.
What I expected
Zeal.
from the game.
Something.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Keep It 90. We're still inside thanks to the support from Spotify, you know, brought to you by the House of NNESAGA. We've got one member less today, but it's good, to be honest, because I don't need that noise from another Arsenal fan. But before we go into the football...
Big up Copes, man.
No, big up Coates every
Holding it
time.
down for you, man.
We do wish he was here, but yeah, he'll be here next week, hopefully. But
Louise.
how has everyone's weekends been?
It's been alright. It's been good actually. Had a little bit of a funny weekend.
What did you do?
I played pro clubs with Cole Palmer.
Swear down.
Yeah. Played
Is he
pro
good?
Clubs.
Wow.
All right, no.
He's a better footballer.
Yo.
No, up front, he's all right, but he played right back. Yeah.
Wait, what?
You made Cole Palmer play right back.
He wanted to play right back. He made a right back, and but like he was on trolling. I mean, there was a couple of goals, and he was basically trying to do gusto, but without tracking backs.
No,
So
that
they
is
exposed us on the right side and a couple of goals, and then he went up front, and it was a little bit better. I think he should just go right wing. I think that's a bit of him. His right back
In
and
real
he
life,
went
he should go where he plays in
So
real life.
now you think
But
you know
he's-
better than a professional footballer.
Nah, but
it
come
was-
on, don't get
but he's
twisted. This
funny.
guy is a pro club's,
Nah,
connoisseur.
but and Anita's hating like I didn't beat up her friends on that game. So, you know what I mean? But obviously, like, you know what I'm saying? But
Ah, damn.
it's like, it was fun though. Shout out to Cole Palmer, he's funny. I've been playing with quite a few people, DBE as well. So
Oh, I
it's been
swear.
alright. Yeah,
Are they
it's
good?
been-
Like, who's the best person you played with on pro clubs?
No, I'm joking. What, like, out of anyone or anyone?
Nah, famous, obviously. You know,
I would say
can-
if anyone
We don't care about
give a
nobody.
damn
about no Harry from Greenwich.
I was gonna say my boy Fred. No, but I'll probably
Shout out,
say I was impressed by LB and Bezo from DVE. Them two, they're good. Man.
You know the funniest thing that I saw recently?
No.
Wayne Rooney playing pro clubs with Ginge and Philly. Bro.
That's the tournament we're in. Yeah, it's the
That
same one.
is so
Yeah.
funny. I saw him abusing Ginge. I'll show you the clip after. It's just mad how pro club is probably the best thing that EA Sports FC have right now.
100.
Because you can't get away from that feeling of just playing pro clubs with your friends. But I think now
I wish I could play pro clubs with you guys, but hey.
I'm down.
We was playing.
Don't-
You lot
Like,
love saying
no,
this,
you're
man,
not.
but no one's
I said
actually
you're
down.
not.
Like,
What do you
You're
mean?
not.
What do you mean? I said I'm down.
Okay,
Yeah.
did you set
then
pace?
do you know what I mean?
I'm not a pace setter. I'm a join the group and then I'll play type person.
No, you a leader.
You man do it first.
You a leader.
No, I'm actually down though. Let's play tonight.
I'm not available tonight.
I've got a tournament game tonight.
Is
In
it?
that same tournament.
Oh,
so,
fair,
yeah,
fair.
I can't play for the next
If you've
couple
got
of
a
weeks,
tournament
unfortunately.
game, if it's not
No, I got
you
multiple
play?
games. It's,
No,
so
it's
basically
not.
it's multiple games. So I'm away for the
Alright.
next couple of months, guys. I'm sorry.
months.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
You went from weeks to months.
Fair enough. We can replace him anyway. But anyway,
Yeah,
Shiz,
yeah.
how was your weekend?
My weekend was calm.
Yeah?
Not much I done. Just pretty much just chilling, just with family.
I love
It's a
that.
chill one, man. I can't lie. It's a good one.
Nah, fair, man. We'll get on to why you're smiling so much. But anyway, Anita, you was at a game this weekend. Was that the only thing you did, or?
Actually, no, Sam. I had a very lovely weekend. Thank you
Lovely.
for asking me. I actually went out. I've been sick for like 3 weeks.
Are you recovered, please?
Yeah, I am. It wasn't contagious anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm fully recovered and now I can go outside.
Amen.
I saw you out though,
Amen.
actually.
Yeah, exactly. Gang, gang.
No, I saw you
I was
out.
out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I rested.
So while
a
we was
little
missing
bit.
you here on the pod, you've been there enjoying your life.
She went to see
She said,
a
yeah.
footballing legend, actually.
Which
How was
one?
that?
Oh, Cesc Fabregas.
Yeah. Better in blue.
Can you
Wow.
unblock me on Twitter, please?
Who, Cesc Fabregas? Why is Cesc Fabregas
no,
blocking your Twitter?
again.
Why are you blocked on Twitter,
What
bro?
the hell? What did you
this
do?
guy- Fabregas,
No,
I
no,
love
no, no,
you.
no. What
Fabregas, I
did
love
you
Can you
do?
unblock me on Twitter?
Well, what did you do?
What?
I don't know what I done.
I need
Swear
to-
down, you don't
I
know.
swear down, and I've actually checked through all my tweets. I said this last time. Like, I don't know. Maybe one time I might have been just crashing it on Chelsea or something, and then he'd block me. But please unblock me. Like, you're actually one of my actual top players ever.
That's crazy.
I might need to block you. He follows me.
You
He,
should have
he, needs,
asked.
he doesn't need to
Oh, he
see
follows
me.
you, yeah.
He follows me.
Oh, I love
I
that.
even reminded him that he followed me. And he's
No,
like,
shout out to Fabby guys today. We love him.
all right. It's enough. He ain't gonna unblock you, mate.
But the
Yeah,
biggest thing
man.
he did was going to the
The biggest thing I did
sold
was
out.
going to, sold out at Stamford Bridge.
Amazing.
Shout out to
Amazing.
Carly Telford. Ever since Carly came into Chelsea, she has worked that women's game into getting more fans and making it more accessible for fans across London, across England, in fact, to come and visit Chelsea. Obviously, Arsenal, you guys are the connoisseurs of sold out stadiums. So how do you think we did? We did all right,
Yeah,
man.
good still. Yeah, obviously
good.
with the blueprint, but I love how people follow suit. I'm loving it. No, I'm playing. No,
it's
it's
true,
It's amazing to
though.
see.
No, it is.
It is amazing to see, and it's like we're really seeing more and more of these like sold out stadiums, and it's like people are really getting into the women's football side of it as well. So I'm loving that.
And you lot have pioneered it, to be fair.
Exactly. Still the only team to win the Champions League in London. Out of the women's, anyway. Out of the women's. Chelsea were meant to do it, but unfortunately.
The referee had other ideas.
Boy. Do you know what? What I've noticed is that men, women, even Paralympics, Barcelona
Dogs.
will have the ref in their pockets.
Yeah.
Always have the ref in their pockets. And I can't understand what kind of corruption unfolded at the bridge on Saturday. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And if I'm being completely honest with you, did you guys watch the match?
I watched the highlights.
Chelsea were the better team, no, Prince?
Yeah.
They were the better team on the day. And I looked at Barcelona. They had their chances, fair enough. You give Barcelona a few chances, they're going to score, and they did that, right? Chelsea also had a few chances that should have gone in. It should have gone in. Lauren James, I think, it was probably one of her weakest games that I've ever seen her play
Really?
in my
unfortunate.
life. It was so
Yeah.
bad. It was so bad that I was looking at her like she needs to get subbed
Step
off.
up. Yeah, like.
She needed to get subbed off, and then she got subbed off. Millie Bright was playing centre forward. It was all confusing. It was baffling. And yeah, unfortunately, Barcelona.
Stage was too bright, man.
Yeah.
Stage was too
Lights were
bright.
too
She's
bright.
still young, yeah. She's still young. She's still young.
Nah, because she's gone to the World Cup. The
And
thing
she's
is, like,
she stepped up in big games. It was just
Yeah,
unfortunate.
it was just
that
unfortunate.
It was just that game.
we don't have a striker at the end of the day, and Lauren had to fill those shoes. The fact that Millie Bright had to come on, and play as a striker. She's only ever done that like 1-2 times before when Sam Kerr's not there,
Yeah.
when backup players are not there as well. And you just think, if all our players were fully fit, just like last year when we played Barcelona, if all our players are fully fit, we would have had them. And it's just sad the ref gave away a floozy pen, a questionable red card, and let decisions slide that shouldn't have slidden. So
I think Emma Hayes summed it up perfectly. Like she said something along the lines of Chelsea wasn't given the opportunity to lose that game.
yeah,
Like it was taken from them.
Yeah.
Like it would have been a better scenario if they had got outplayed and just lost to the better side. But when referees are involved in how you lose in front of a sold out crowd, your last game in the competition for like, and obviously the storylines, they never always work out in your favor. But the fact that, like you said, Chelsea were dominating the game, they had chances, and it looked like it was going to be their day until the referee. And I think Emma said that the referee's known for giving yellow cards. We talk about referees so much on this pod,
We do.
but it's actually getting to a point where how are we supposed to enjoy the game when these things are happening, especially in a side of a game where it's growing? You don't want to see things like that because it makes people fall out of love with it.
Yeah.
and it's like you can just hear, like, obviously I'm an advocate for women's football to have a much maturer audience. I'm not saying that kids should, scoot to the side, but I'm just saying a mature audience would be better for me, people like me. But then you have all the kids there, and there were kids sitting in front of me, and they were like, "What's the ref doing? Why is this happening?" Like looking to their parents, like, "Why is this happening?" Like, and their parents are just like, they're as vexed as the kids as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I was very close to tears. Oh my! I think
That was emotional. Still.
it's so emotional. I was trying to take pictures at the end of it, to shout out my plug, my friend that was taking the picture just like, Anita, you look so sad. I'm like, what the fuck do you expect from me? I just didn't know what to do. And you want to celebrate the women's game. You want to celebrate the fact that Chelsea got to the semi-final and they sold out their stadium. But the referee ruined everything. Everything. And it's just such, like I said, Chelsea were the better side. They weren't the dominant side because obviously you play Barcelona. They're going to have possession. Yeah, they're going to dominate. Yeah. But just strategically thought out. They should have had at least 2-3 goals under their belt. That red card killed everything. The penalty killed everything. And no matter how hard we tried, it was always going to be a big battle to come back against a Barcelona team like this with 10 men.
Yeah. But big up Chelsea, big up Emma, big up everything that they've done.
Big up Carly Telford.
Carly
Telford.
But Carly,
Legend.
big up Carly because she's doing huge things. Barca, Lyon final. Who we got for the favourites to win the Champions League final?
It's going to be Barca.
It's going to be Barca, isn't it? It's going to be Barca.
We're going off of like logic here.
Logic. All right, so we're all going for Barca, but let us know in the comments on social
come on,
who
Lyon.
you think. Yeah, Lyon, let's see an upset. All right, cool. Let's get into the Premier League football. There's been a lot of games. I feel like these last few weeks, it's just been piling up.
It has.
There's been pressure from the top and the bottom. Let's start at the top. Arsenal, they had 2 games this week after losing in the Champions League and then losing to Aston Villa. Those were 2 big losses, so they had to bounce back. And they did that against Chelsea. They beat Chelsea 5-0. It was 1-0 at half time. Pochettino didn't make any changes. And then Arsenal ran riot. Shiz, I don't know where you watched the game. Don't know if you watched it with Prince, but let us know your thoughts on that game.
So I was at the stadium.
Oh, really?
So
big up.
it was a great time. I was in the clock end. And the clock end is lit because them man are just, they're on.
Active,
they're on. And where we were sitting was right next to you lot's fans. And the energy in the stadium... Do you want to sit up, Anita, for this one?
Sorry, apologies.
So the energy in the stadium, it was so electric. Like, I can't even explain. Obviously, for you guys, it's not that. I'm sorry. And the thing is, I was going to come with energy today. But I've been advised by a few people, I'm not going to say too much. But it was a good game. It was nice to see us, like, really take the game by, like, the neck and just go for it. Like, and... coming off the back of 2 losses, one being at home, I think that is something that we definitely need to show. Like, we can show that the heart of it. And you lot's fans were trying to give us shit. There was one guy with an inflatable, like, Champions League trophy that was swinging it every time Rice took a corner. But you got to do it. Like, I hear it.
That must have been on the floor after.
I'm
sure that guy got chucked out. Like, I can't lie, he got chucked out by the end. Yeah, you lot. I can't lie. A lot of your fans stayed to the end.
Shout out to the fans.
You lots really did stick out.
They should get their tickets refunded.
No.
I mean, you know what it is, yeah. How do you guys think about that game? Because obviously that's a big game for this pod, especially because we are Chelsea and Arsenal fans, and it's very hard to hide the emotion behind the rivalry. That was obviously a big game, bigger for you than it is for us because of where you are in the league. But in terms of pride and being from London, that was a big game. And I think that was probably the hardest defeat that I've taken in 2 years. As a fan.
Just 2 years.
Yeah. Like that losing 5-0 to Arsenal, we ain't seen. That's the biggest loss that we've had against Arsenal.
That's probably the biggest defeat that I've had to take.
Oh yeah, 2 years is even in my life. In my life.
It
was dark. It was a dark day. I went to my room around the 80th minute. And I just sat in the dark. I sat in the dark for like 5 minutes.
Bro,
my head was actually
on Pluto.
Hot. Like, as in, if I didn't close my eyes at that point, I don't know what would have happened to me.
All right, can I ask you lot, like, what did you expect from the game? Like, what did you think?
You know what it is?
Grit,
what I expected
zeal,
from the game is what I saw in the first half. So the first half, Arsenal had chances, Chelsea had chances, but there was fight. Yeah. I think where Pochettino went wrong is that he was playing players that are injured, and he didn't trust players that
Carney
that could have had an impact in that game.
Yeah.
So
he's injured, though.
I think he's injured. I think that
What, now,
I think,
or was he injured
I
on the
think
game?
in the game, yeah.
Somehow he's back on this rehabilitation program.
Yeah, so I think there's been some times where there's been players that have made the bench that aren't going to get minutes, but you don't want to just have a bench full of youngsters in
Yeah.
it.
And
So
half of the benches or the main teams also injured.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We've got
So
21 injuries.
I think it was difficult for Poch, but you in those games, and a Chelsea fan online said it perfectly. Like that is like where you show that you are really a Chelsea man. Like you have to, if you lose graciously. Like you don't get pumped 5-0. I know Spurs have lost a few times to Chelsea and Arsenal, but that don't happen to Chelsea. So the fact that you allowed that to happen, and then after it's like you didn't really say anything to give them to make fans feel like not at ease, but like just feel a bit better. Like we were terrible, but we're gonna do better next game. He said, "I can't blame the players for their effort."
Yeah.
You can't say things like that after a
way,
5-0 loss.
Carney wasn't
Yeah.
injured that game,
he
and
wasn't,
he
no.
didn't play a single minute.
No, he was on the bench, but you say
yeah, he was on the
just
bench.
come back though. I think he
So-
just come back from injury.
give a
I hate you.
The thing
but
is,
If you're on the bench, you're available.
You're
You're
available,
available.
but you're not at the same time.
Even just like some minutes, man. Come on, like I saw him. I saw him and Sterling warming up, like just before the second half started. But then no changes happened until
Bro.
way into the game, and
I
it's
think
like
I want to, because I don't even want to talk on Chelsea too much because I already said last week
That we're
we was
gonna
gonna
lose,
bad.
yeah.
I said it because I knew the script because
Our
we
games,
we
our
lose
games.
badly tomorrow, by the way, because there's no Cole Palmer or Gusto. I already said it because I knew not only that Gusto and Palmer was out and there are two shining stars.
Yeah.
It's not just that. Arsenal are off the two losses. There was no way they was gonna have a third if you were serious. Arsenal's went and shown their how serious they are to try and win this trophy. You know what I mean? Not just this game. We talk about the game that also happened. You know what I mean? Yesterday, but it's like Chelsea's lost their fight, man. It's done.
you can tell. Like I feel like it got to a point where, because where I was sitting, obviously
I
I
don't
can.
We've lost
I
our
see.
fight.
I
We've
see
lost
like
our fight.
Caicedo there, and Caicedo's looking at Jackson. He's looking at Kukurea, and he's like to them like,
Shouting.
"Come on!" Like
Yeah.
he's
Doing-
like
he's
you can
doing
tell he's
multiple
pissed off.
But
Like
that's the thing. I don't know what direction we want to take this, but let's go. So the Chelsea that we saw against Arsenal, against the Chelsea that we saw against Villa, yeah. So against Arsenal, Arteta has created a system that he will really target your weak points.
Yeah.
So what they were doing was overloading the midfield against Chelsea.
'Cause they know
and
Enzo don't run.
Enzo don't run. He's injured. Gallagher gets pulled out to press the defense, and then Caicedo's left isolated. So Havertz kept on dropping in. The biggest problem that we had was that it just kept on happening. And then
Make a
he
change.
didn't make a change.
Make
I
a
think that was the
change.
biggest thing that we saw
Like, we could
from that
see it.
game.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
In the first half, every Chelsea fan said we need to make some change or this could get mad. So obviously that game going the way it did was one thing. And then Aston Villa now, 2-0 down, half time, you're saying, okay, this could get peak because it can be the same type of thing. And then he makes a change. He inverts Kukurea. He gives Caicedo
Kukurea
he gives
plays so
Caicedo
well.
he gives Caicedo someone else to work with him in that midfield. And we should have won the game. You end up drawing the game against a very good Villa team that beat Arsenal a few weeks. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I know he's learning, but Pochettino.
Learning what?
Yeah, no, but we as in,
No.
I don't know about
no.
learning.
go on,
Like,
Stop
tell me.
babying
I feel
him.
like he's
Stop. Why?
Like he's one junior coach.
Like, what?
Like-
he's been coaching for how many years? Stop babying him. He's learning what? What is there to learn?
You went to PSG.
Like what? You got PSG. You at Tottenham. You're now at Chelsea. What are you learning? You were
There's nothing
coaching
to
in
learn
Spain,
still.
Argentina. What are you learning?
Yeah.
What? God!
This has been something that has
Babying him.
You can feel this.
nah, you know
Look,
what it is?
I'm not gonna.
Because I always try to give a manager perspective, but I hear Anita. Like
Bro.
it's difficult. It's difficult when you're watching these games and you're not seeing the adjustments and the right things being done when we're just fans. So we don't really know what goes on behind closed doors. We've seen games where, like you've seen against the Arsenal, terrible. Seen against the Villa second half, quality. So it's like, what is the difference? What are you telling them in that game that you're not telling them in the game against Villa?
Do you know what it is? And what really scares me is that he's not the one motivating the players. All you need for a game like that, and we'll obviously come on to the North London derby. Yeah. All you need for a game like that, obviously make your couple changes. However, you rile up them players enough, they're going to get you something.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
gonna give some sort of fight.
Yeah.
Whether if we lost that 5-2.
Yeah.
Lost it 5-3, 5-1. I would say, okay, we fucking tried. Arsenal are just that much better than us. Fine. We did, like you said, Caicedo was the one like, come on.
Yeah.
Thiago Silva, apparently at half time, he was telling the lads, like, come on in the dressing room. Bro, as a manager, what is your purpose? You're still sitting down.
Yeah.
You are still sitting down. You're not doing anything.
And
what's your purpose? How are you going to motivate players?
Yeah.
If my manager in my workplace is allowing my mediocrity, I will be mediocre until I get fired.
Especially if you're young, G.
That's a fact.
Because if you're a
You
young
know
player,
what? That's
that
crazy.
is the mindset.
It's
That's the
true.
mindset.
That's the
Yeah.
mindset.
But
It's true.
But you know what it is? I think he's split in a sense. And obviously I'm playing devil's advocate because when you look at the Chelsea squad, yeah, there's been young.
That's how
not
I
yak,
drank
you know.
my Hennessy. I drank Hennessy on a Tuesday night.
Sorry.
On a Tuesday night.
There's young-
I drank
I would have
Hennessy.
too.
Hey guys, welcome to Keep It 90, brought to you by the House of NNESAGA, supported by the wonderful Spotify. Make sure you stay tuned and lock in. There's young players in the squad where Chelsea have bought some of the best young players in the world and hope that it's just worked out. And what you see from the squad is that everyone's
Sorry,
saying,
who's the best in the world?
They were at the time.
They were at the time. Let's be honest. They were at the time.
Who
We
Enzo?
can't-
Enzo.
Caicedo.
Enzo, Cole Palmer, all of these, Gusto, all of these.
Cole Palmer's a
I wouldn't
shit.
say, yeah.
Gusto
No,
go.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't go that far now.
Some of the players with the most promise that you say in that conversation.
This is a mistake though because we say Enzo, but
Yeah,
Enzo
but
was just off a World Cup.
but that's not my point. So let me get to my point. Yeah,
Go
my
on,
point is
land.
they should have enough motivation themselves to want to do well. The same thing that you talk about when you have experienced players like at United, the experience is what's carrying them through. The Brunos, the Varans and Maguires, they just have that know-how. With Chelsea, I feel like it's half and half. Sometimes you see it, Caicedo winning it, Jackson trimming his hair, saying, "I don't care about the looks. I just want to be like," you know what I mean? Like they have glimpses of it, but it's not carrying them through. And that's why I think Pochettino struggles because he doesn't know what side he's gonna get. And I agree with you. If you've got that squad, you have to be able to do more on a day. Every game, Arteta, I think he sits down 5 minutes per 90.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
And
envious.
he had a young squad for 4. He's been at the club for 4 or 5 years. His approach hasn't changed because he knows what he wants to achieve.
Same as Klopp.
And you know,
They don't sit down.
Do you know what I think is mad? Yeah, we've all said we see the potential in Jackson, right? We've all said it. You see the way he attacked Saliba and Gabriel. It was dangerous. Instead of us to capitalize on that, it was
dangerous.
Saliba got sat. Saliba got sat. He got sat.
You watched the first half.
Come
let's
on,
be honest.
He didn't get sat.
Oh come on.
But
man.
I can't lie. Gabriel did get.
He got sat and then he missed it.
You know what it is?
But then he-
Like,
but
I
It's
said it,
like
I
you
said it,
keep
he's a nuisance,
capital. You
that's
keep
it.
He is a
capitalizing on
nuisance.
that.
Yeah,
you
I'll
keep
take that.
capitalizing on. If I was him, half time, yeah, kept Jackson there, bring on Sterling, attack.
What I don't understand is that in the
Run,
first
get
half,
them.
you lot looked like you was gonna
Score.
Yeah, you lot looked like you was gonna score. I was a bit like, whoa. Like,
That's why
even
he got
people-
complacent.
But
Yeah.
then Arteta, that's what I'm saying. Good
Arteta,
manager.
brain
He
switched
said,
on.
We're having joy in the middle. Get the ball through the middle every single time, and that's how he scored the 4.
And you lot were isolating.
And
like,
it
it's
worked.
just-
And
yeah.
it worked. So we got to give you Arsenal their flowers. The North London derby
Big time.
as well. But before we go on to the North London derby, a big shout out to Thiago Silva. He announced that he's retiring. Not retiring. He's leaving Chelsea at the end of the season. He was it was sad, to be honest, because the announcement, he's been at the club for 4 years.
Yeah.
Most Chelsea fans will admit he's a Chelsea legend
Mason
already.
Mount was at the club for how long?
Let's not do that. Let's just
Sorry.
talk about Thiago Silva.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Thiago Silva.
I'm saying, yeah,
Thiago
it's
Silva
facts, it's facts.
It is facts.
is a legend for the club, and I think it's been hard to see that he's been able to have the impact that he had in such a short space of time, and he's gonna leave under these circumstances where it's not on like the brightest of notes. Like it's sad, but yeah, I'm just happy that we were able to have a player like him.
And it's nice that he's left the door open to say that he can come
He
back
wants
for
to come back
coaching
as a coach,
someday,
yeah,
you know.
And I think, oh no, go on, sorry.
And his kids, they still play for Chelsea.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I don't know how that's gonna work out, but he mentioned it in the video. I actually came to tears in the video because I'm just like, if we had you a few years earlier, who knows
What could have
happened? You know, that is a graceful player, and probably one of the most recent players that I become so attached to.
Everyone loves him.
Everyone
I like
loves
him
him.
too.
Him and his wife.
I like
yeah,
him too.
and the thing is with him, he's like
So you like him
I like him too.
he's like the mix of like old school defending but new school as well. And I think
Yeah.
that's why he
Gets
was
it.
able to last so long. 39 years old, coming to a club at the age of 35, and no one even batting an eyelid and saying, "Oh, why are we signing him?" Every Chelsea
knew
fan
who
was
he
gassed.
was. Everyone knew who
Everyone
he
was
was.
gassed. Like people even tried to underestimate how good of a player he is. He's definitely going to go down as one of the best centre backs to ever play the game.
in
So,
ever, yeah.
so what a player. Happy he played for Chelsea. But yeah, let's move on to the North London derby, because that was a big game. Everyone was expecting Spurs to do something. Arsenal fans were confident but quietly nervous as well, and then just ran away with it in the first half. What are you saying, Shiz?
Listen, I enjoyed that first half because I'm just like, we're giving it to them. And this is like the Arsenal that I love. And like our waveform has been amazing as well. I would have loved to have come to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and for Raya to collect that golden glove right there. But then he had to go and just have a lapse of just like, misjudgment on you're not concentrating properly. And he just kicked the ball right at Romero and
I don't know what the hell he was doing.
I
there,
don't know what
but
he was doing.
No, Romero.
Romero,
What's
yeah,
Romero
100.
centre-back
But do you know
doing
what? I can't lie.
protecting the keeper?
Romero was the only one that was kept
Really
everyone
going for it.
going
He was
because
doing the
everyone else
energy,
was
yeah, everyone's
ghosting.
heads was gone.
Everyone was
Everyone's
done.
heads was gone.
I
But
respect that, though.
after that,
love it.
it pissed me off because I felt like the trajectory of that game changed completely at that point because you allowed the fans, you allowed the players to believe that they can get back into the game.
Yeah.
And this is a derby. You have
Yeah.
to, if you can, shut them up early and let's go. Because when we came out in the second half, we were still attacking, but we gave away that ball.
Yeah.
He scored, and then Rice with the penalty, and then we was just fighting to the very end. But
Do you
again,
feel like,
Derby, innit?
Because this is the question, and obviously I know how derbies go, but do you feel like if there was 10 more minutes in that game, it could have been?
Wouldn't have been a draw.
I think
Do you
5.
think, or do you think you would have held out?
I think we could have held out. Again, I don't really feel like their
There was not
their
a clear cut.
chances weren't
No, but
there.
you guys
like
were nervous though, and I think
We were
and you know
nervous.
what it is with
Shaky.
Arsenal? You know what's with Arsenal? Yeah, you've had good results in the last 2 games.
yeah.
But it's the most vulnerable I've seen you at in moments,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest, like you guys are still playing well, and the thing is you're taking your chances.
Yes,
So that's
very
that's
well.
the biggest thing. But defensively, I've
Since
seen
Bayern.
Saliba and Gabriel have a few moments where I'm like, rah, like you guys are supposed to be on point. Even Ben White having a few moments where he's
A bit of
he's not
tiredness.
looking.
I think it's a bit of tiredness as
So-
well. Though,
so-
man.
it's
Saliba
gonna
has
be
played
interesting.
every
Every
single
game.
Every
minute.
single game.
Yeah.
Like I know you lot
minutes.
missed him last season, but you never don't this season. But he's played every, and big shout out to him because all the hype around him from before he joined Arsenal to now, like you're seeing.
He's lived up to the expectation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
by
100%.
far,
Sure.
and a lot of players don't do that. We can look at our team, and
Yeah.
you have to shout. I just want to give a personal shout out to Saliba for that because
Yeah, man.
you've really shown.
And
Saliba.
Gabriel
And
did a
Gabriel, I feel like Gabriel's always kind of been
Quality.
available and always shown something. I think Saliba with the hype that he came in with,
He
and
makes
everyone
it
was
stick
saying
together.
like when Gabriel was on his own next to like Holding and these kind of guys, everyone was like, nah. Saliba's that there was a lot
He's the
of
glue.
pressure on Saliba
Yeah.
before he even put on before he had his number
Yeah.
at the club, and he's come in and said, "Yo, cool." I remember his first couple of games. It was like, all right, we're not really seeing nothing too special because I think Van Dijk was getting a lot of hype as well around that times. He has actually shown he's stellar.
As
I have
always.
to give him a shout out. I have to.
Yeah.
So, Bournemouth, Man United, Everton, last 3 games. You think you win them all?
Yeah, we have to.
Have to.
Like that is it. We have to. Like regardless of what the season's going to end up in, we have to win those games. City, I know. Come on, like we know what City's like. They've been
Yeah.
doing it for like the past 3-4 seasons now. Like we know business end of the season, they get a job done.
Yeah.
But we have to show fight at least because you never know what happens. You never know what could happen. You never know. Like it's unpredictable at this point. We have to win those games. We have to.
I think you will. I actually think that there's going to be a shock in the last 2 games.
I think I've seen a script.
I
don't
think,
know
like
what's
they-
in the
they
script.
finally get zagged for their charges
Arsenal,
or
I think
something.
Arsenal are going to win the league.
I said it, yeah. Man City's run looks easier than Arsenal.
It's just not
But
easier.
I'm
It's just
telling
not.
you for a fact, this City team,
They look
don't-
Same.
vulnerable.
They're not the
They
same
look
at all.
vulnerable,
I don't
man.
And
trust
can I say the funny script that I think I've seen?
no, don't put it into the app.
No,
Yeah,
go on,
please,
go on,
please,
go on,
please,
go
just
on.
leave it.
I feel like
my
so
God.
he's
so
just gonna
you
jinx
lot
it
you
to
lot beat Tottenham. I feel like Tottenham's gonna beat City.
Really?
I feel like it's gonna be so weird. Tottenham's going to beat City. I have a funny feeling.
How can
There's
I be
something-
relying on my ops to beat
No,
my
but that's
ops?
what's going to
Like,
be. It's a script that I feel like I've seen.
Yeah.
It's like the same way I've seen.
It's their hardest game, I think.
Yeah, and I
feel
feel
like
like there's
against
something there,
Tottenham.
man.
But I don't know. I feel like their hardest game is like Fulham. I
Yeah.
think Fulham,
Fulham
and they've
will
got
give 'em.
they've got
Scary
another
for them.
because it's Fulham away,
Away.
and then they've got Fulham, Spurs,
West Ham.
West Ham, and they've got one more. I can't remember
Wolves.
what.
The thing
They got
is,
Wolves at home.
Wolves the next game. So I think those games, I think they're gonna drop points there. Not even potentially losses, but I think they can
We just
draw.
need them to get one draw and
Yeah.
us win all of our games,
Yeah.
and then we win. But again,
You
if
gotta
we
win.
win
Yeah,
our
you gotta win all
games,
your
like
games.
that
I'm
is.
not gonna.
Take
I
it.
would rather Spurs come to Stamford Bridge and whack us 3-0 than them go and beat City at this point in time.
Yeah. Come
I
on.
would
Agreed on that
rather
one.
Spurs
Agreed
come
on that.
to Stamford Bridge
Yeah, give us
and
three.
whack our bums
Give
Why?
us three. Give us
That
three. And
you,
then
man,
make sure
win
City-
this
make
Premier
sure City-
League.
Make sure City win that, bro.
on
Do
my
you know what?
life.
can't-
I would
on-
rather.
on everything.
Why do
And
you
I will
hate-
even go.
Why do you
I'll
not
be
hate
there.
us like that? Like, I
not gonna
don't
lie
get
to you.
it.
I'm not gonna lie.
Why?
To you. I never
Why?
can see and agree with my team losing. I
Ah.
don't know.
That's
You
you.
will hold.
innit?
You will
That's
hold
you.
free in this, in spite of us.
That's you.
Yeah, 100%.
Are you
Because
dumb?
you know what it is. I don't mind. I actually.
I don't
mind
understand you lot,
City
man.
winning
Yeah,
the
because
league.
you don't know.
But
no City
why?
fans.
Yeah, I know like three
because
City fans.
of the fans.
Yeah.
No,
So
your fans are
you
on
will
there.
allow
but-
them. You allow them to keep
It doesn't
make
mean
this
it
whole
doesn't
league
mean
look like a
anything.
farmers
It
league.
doesn't mean
For
it
what?
It already does look
That's
like that.
fine.
And it doesn't
Move.
mean anything to us.
Man.
But I do think
Move.
Arsenal.
That is
Give me
terrible.
a shovel, I will go farming.
I do think Arsenal
yeah,
deserve.
I'll start
You
digging.
go there, man.
I will start digging.
I do think Arsenal deserve to win the league, and if they do win it, then like fair play to them.
Arsenal deserve this league. Like they're the only team that deserves to win this league.
Yeah. If City win
But
it, it's
not
just
on my
off,
watch.
Yeah, it's just on merit. But
Not a
let's
my
move
watch.
on to the next team that was supposed to be in the conversation for this league and have just. I don't even know whether to call it bottling it. Is it bottling
Yes,
it?
It is bottling it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, say
everyone's
how
saying
it
in
is
general
because
to
last
bottling it,
season
bottling
we
it.
bottled it,
No,
but
this
they
is
had
a
the same lead,
horrible-
even more.
This
Yeah.
is
Wait, no,
horrible-
you guys were on top of the table for 90-something
But
percent, though.
what do you mean?
You're
What-
not in the same bracket.
Let's figure out how long Liverpool was on there because
It
I
was- it
can't
wasn't
lie.
up to 90-something
Liverpool were points ahead. Points ahead.
Liverpool, they fumbled.
And, they fumbled.
They
They,
fumbled.
they
You know what
bottled it.
is? It
That's it.
was. It
Points
started,
ahead and a game in hand.
It started from the
Fumbled.
Manchester United game.
Yes.
They drew United 2-2. Then they went to Atalanta. Well, Atalanta came to their yard. They lost 3-0.
Whacked them 3-0.
Then they lost to Palace 1-0. Beat Atalanta again 1-0, but obviously they
Wasn't
went out of the Europa. They beat Fulham 3-1. Lost to Everton and then drew to West Ham 2-2. And the maddest thing about this Liverpool side and some of those games, especially in the Premier League, they actually dominated majority of those games. They had chances where they should have won, but I think we're seeing the difference between what it takes to win a league and what it takes to just be in that top four conversation. And I think if Jurgen Klopp didn't say he was leaving, and if we didn't hold Liverpool to that high regard, we would have said that this is a calm season for Liverpool.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
But-
Do you know why
but-
I don't agree with you? Liverpool have a certain player that their fans hold up to the heights of Neymar, Messi, Cristiano
No, rightly so, though.
Ronaldo, Eden Hazard, rightfully so. Neymar, Messi, Ronaldo, Hazard will carry their team to that league. So that's why I don't agree with you. When you've got a player like Mo Salah on your team,
me stand on
you
Hazard Hill.
give him that responsibility of carrying your team to the finish line, and he hasn't done
Done
that.
it.
And
Oh,
that's a
I'm here for
problem.
this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because these
That's a
men love
problem.
talking on Hazard's name. Where's your boy? Where is he? What is he doing? He's trying to beef his manager. Crash it.
Hey.
It's done.
Hey,
Don't talk about Hazard again. Liverpool fans, you're done.
You know what it is? I hear it, and it's Liverpool being in that title conversation is mainly because Salah is Salah
Yes.
and what he done at the start of
Yes.
the season. But
Salah
since he
tax,
came
man.
back from
Boring.
the
Boring.
African Cup of
Boring.
Nations, he has just not been the same man.
Yeah.
To, the
He
extent,
ain't even been the same out there either.
to the extent of
I've been waiting to
Jurgen
crash
Klopp.
on him.
I don't think he's
Jurgen
even
Klopp
wanted to be in Liverpool this
benching
season.
him, and him coming off the bench when I think it was
Angry.
2-1 at the time.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp obviously wanted to shake his hand like he does with all of the players when they come on.
He weren't
and
on it.
Salah was not having it. And there's been a few opinions around it. There's obviously the Liverpool well, there's the pro Liverpool fan where they say, he's done so much for us. Klopp's done so much for us. Let them have their disagreement and make up. Then there's the other side of the Liverpool fan saying that you don't ever think that you're bigger than the club. You shake the manager's hand and you don't add this narrative around the club when we don't need this.
I agree.
What side of the fence are we on?
Even when Eden Hazard, Diego Costa, all of them
say
were
that-
against
say that
Jose
first name
Mourinho.
again?
Eden Hazard.
All right, that's it, because that's the boy.
Even when they went against Jose Mourinho, when Costa threw that bib at Mourinho, I didn't give a shit who they were. I said, you don't do that to the manager.
Ever.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
You do not disrespect your manager. It's like disrespecting your girl in public. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's poor.
What are you
It's
doing?
poor.
You
Yeah.
don't
Never do it.
do that.
Yeah.
You just whatever issues you have, you put that in the dressing room. You shake my man's hand in the dressing room. You say, boss, like, you benched me. I wasn't feeling that. Simple.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are as a player. You don't disrespect your manager. Cristiano Ronaldo, how many times did you see him disrespect Jose Mourinho, even though he was livid with that man?
I disrespect
Like-
Ten Hag though, but
Yeah, but Ten Hag, come on, man.
Ten Hag
We're
tried-
talking about
Ten-
levels
Ten-
here.
No,
We're
no,
talking,
but
we're
I
talking
still
about
be-
people
but I
like
still
Jurgen
disrespect
Klopp.
him.
Come
Yeah,
on.
no, I hear you.
Especially for someone that's done so much for your club, your manager that you've been with for how many years? Like, what, 6 to 7 years? You don't do
It's a
that.
bit different when it's worked between you two as well. Like Ten Hag and Ronaldo never worked.
Yeah, I get you.
Like,
It's a lack of respect.
It's a lack of
innit?
respect
Yeah,
from
yeah,
both.
yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? I think Salah, it was poor, innit? But
So bad.
I just think this story is just. I really thought, because I said it last week. I thought that story. I feel like there was something going on, and I said there was a twist, but I thought the twist was going to be the other way.
Yeah,
but
in Liverpool's favour.
it's gone.
Yeah.
And this story's crazy.
You know what? I think Liverpool have given Salah too much power. Like, he's obviously one of their best players and been their best player in their last how many decades, yeah? But from the summer, where they could have got 215 million from him from a Saudi club when they wanted to buy him, they made him the face of the club, basically, and rightly so. All of these things are rightly
Deserved.
so.
It was deserved.
But at that point, and I kind of respect what Jurgen Klopp done to a certain extent, because he's not feeding into the narrative of, you're Salah, you have to play. He's feeding into whoever plays well is playing.
Period.
Because Harvey Elliott has been one of their best performers
Yeah.
in recent weeks, and he's been getting a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
What a baller.
The only thing that I think he's struggling from, and why Jurgen Klopp will probably not be let down, but the people that he is playing, like Gakpo, Nunez, Diaz, they're just not performing. Even though they're creating chances, they're not performing to that level. So you're trying to teach someone a lesson, but you still kind of need him, because the guys that you're trying to teach them a lesson with aren't even doing
Not
what
up
you
there.
need them to do. So I think we're seeing why Jurgen Klopp is leaving, to be honest.
He's
There-
tired. like
there
you
is a
said.
He
conversation.
looks it as well.
There's a conversation,
Exhausted.
and I want to know what you guys think. Do you feel like him announcing at the time that he's leaving,
Yeah.
do you think that made it worse, added more pressure, or do you think it was fine?
I just think this is Liverpool. Like, they've been doing this, I feel like, for like a few seasons now. I kind of feel like there's more pressure on them, but I think they can sustain the pressure enough.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
think
With the
they're
old
like,
guard,
right now.
though, not this current Liverpool.
No, but then don't forget this current Liverpool.
They didn't
Technically,
change
the
much.
main pieces.
have.
But
They have.
Yeah, but the main
Henderson
pieces were
gone.
still the ones.
Some Mane gone.
They
Yeah,
changed-
but there was still
gone.
some main pieces that are
They
still
changed
there
it.
that did win that
No,
championship.
but they
It's
changed their
only
whole
Robbo,
midfield. Yeah, so it's the
Robbo,
defense
Trent,
and Salah.
Van Dijk and Salah. When you
that's
when you
enough.
look
And
at their,
Alisson.
but think about their
he's
spine when they were on top.
Yeah.
They had Henderson in
Henderson
there,
was in there, yeah.
Origi coming off the bench and doing madnesses.
Yeah,
you had
you're right.
Firmino, who
Yeah,
people
ooh.
disrespected but respected at the same time. Like
Mane, all of these man.
Mane.
They had players that, like we said, their narrative wasn't around like just Liverpool. It was about them being the best that they can be. Do you know what I mean? And I think that that's what this Liverpool side did. They got so many young players. It's a bit difficult to sustain that pressure at a point where you're going into games and you know you have to win. You know your manager's leaving. You know there's been story around the quadruple after they won the Carabao Cup. It's like, can they win it all? It's a difficult thing to have over your head.
100%.
We
And
gotta
pressure
go back to that
caves
Trent
sometimes.
Post, where that Trent post is funny.
Well,
It's
1
like,
and 4, hungry for more. Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's their mentality. You know, your mentality as Liverpool Football Club is you can win it all, and that's always been the mentality in recent years. Anyway, that's always been the mentality.
Yeah.
So there's nothing really changed in that aspect. You still believe that you're gonna win it all. Trent tweeted 1-4. He didn't tweet that off his back because he because of banter. No, he believed it, and he wasn't the only one that believed
At
it.
that time, it was
Believable.
Yeah,
It was very believable.
But so many factors can change that. Injuries that they
and
did
this
have.
is why I look at Salah, and I want him to look back on this season and say, what did you do? What did I do to contribute to us winning the league? Even though we didn't. What did I do? I didn't do enough.
In the business end.
Bro, when it came down to crunch time, after AFCON,
yeah.
what did I do to make sure that we won this league? What did I do to make sure that we won the FA Cup? What did I do to make sure we didn't get slapped 3-0 by Atalanta in our gaff?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, there's so many different things there. And you want to call this man world-class amongst Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Hazard, etc., right? And I'm not saying he doesn't belong in that bracket because because he's earned his stripes, right? But at this point is where you question how much he really deserves it. Yeah. Because at this point, it's no longer a conversation with Ronaldo and Messi. It's now a conversation with Neymar, Hazard. Is he?
He was never in that elite
talk to Liverpool fans.
Nah, they know.
Talk to Liverpool fans.
They wouldn't put him in the conversation with Messi and Ronaldo. It's just numbers wise, maybe. But even
they've been doing it for time.
Even trophies wise, they're not going to be able to put him in that conversation.
Sam, I promise you.
I've talked to Liverpool. I've not had one.
Scousers.
I've not had one. I've only seen that J what's his name, Redmond, say something extreme, but nothing like.
And there's millions of them in Liverpool. Millions of them from up north. I promise you. Scousers. Packs and potions.
But so now obviously they're out of that conversation. Their new manager has been confirmed on slot from Feyenoord.
Hey, that's a passion manager doing it.
He's when you look at the history of what he's done at that club, the type of manager he is, it actually does make sense for Liverpool.
Yeah.
But obviously, he's not. I think there's always going to be a drop off because Jurgen Klopp was an icon at Liverpool, and Liverpool is a club that rely heavily on their managers. Like when you look back at their success, you always bring up the manager as like one of the first or second things. With other clubs, you can say players in certain periods. Liverpool are always managers. So I think he made it clear that he wanted that job, and he's now got it. What we saying? Do you think that is a good appointment? Do you think that it was wrong for them to announce it at this point? Like, what we saying with Liverpool's approach to all of this?
I don't think it's bad. Like, you've already said that Klopp's leaving, so why not just announce that he's coming in? I don't think it's that deep at all.
I'm the complete opposite. I think whoever Liverpool's PR people are, they're bloody crazy. You were on a losing streak. You just lost the league. You've lost out in the Europa League. You've lost out in the FA Cup.
No, man.
Oh, but here's your new manager, brother. Just
that a lot of people didn't want.
Bro,
And you know what it is,
wait till the end of the season.
And I genuinely think, I think also it's a bit bad from a PR perspective because I know it's not ending as well as they wanted it to be, but let's respect Klopp and give him his flowers. Let's not try to push it on and move on while he's still here.
Give him his flowers, man. Let's move on, bro. He had a whole flipping segment coming out and some whole video.
I think
like, bro, your flowers are there.
Everything's a bit
Let's move on now, man. You have to still move on.
It's ill timing because I am the first person, to say Klopp is not one of my favourite managers, but I respect him. I respect what he's done, not just for Liverpool, but keeping that competition with Man City in the Premier League. Like, as a manager, you got to respect what he's done with Dortmund. Yeah. You look back across his career and you just think, he's
always been the David versus Goliath, isn't he?
He's always been that manager. So you got to respect him. Announcing the new manager whilst he's still here, it's like because now all the attention is going to be on the new manager, and I kind of look at it as Chelsea and Emma Hayes, right? Have they announced the new manager for Chelsea yet? No. You respect Emma Hayes and what she's done for your club enough to see her out, then announce who the new manager is, because they know. Because if it goes
wrong, like, all right, let's say it goes wrong now, like, so from the West Ham game. And let's say they lose their next game, you're giving the fans ammunition to start screaming out the next manager's name. I'm not saying that will happen, but that is, you are opening that, and that is I don't want to see that.
Like, I'm so
the only
respect
thing.
The fans just gotta be
him.
respectful.
Like,
Period.
But that's what I mean. But you've
Just
but
be-
even-
just be
but even-
respectful,
But
period.
some fans are
Like-
not though, and if you're gonna, and the thing is that if you're gonna open that lane for fans to give that potential, you could have stopped that. That's just all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, man.
So I hear what you
I
guys are
agree with
saying.
you.
Good appointment, wrong timing.
Fair enough. How do we see Salah and Klopp? How should Salah and Klopp pattern this? Because
can't,
it's a terrible thing to happen in public, but it happens. Like, you see top players and top managers have disagreements. I think Salah didn't help it by saying that if he spoke there would be fire. There's been like Pep and KDB had a disagreement on the
Multiple times.
on the bench when he got subbed in one game. I can't remember when it was, but it was recent. That stuff happens, but how do we see them squashing this stuff?
Bro, like,
There's no way because there's nothing they can take from the season now.
it's not even that. Like, there's still a way. Like, we know Liverpool fans, they love the passion and they love the camaraderie between all of their players, right? All that needs to happen is they get a win, Mo Salah starts scoring again, Jurgen Klopp celebrates, they hug or something, and it will be fine. But that has to happen because it will be so sour allowing Salah and Klopp to not be on the same page as Klopp is leaving. Like, all leaves a bit, like, just as a football
Sour
fan,
taste,
leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
And
They
Klopp
need
don't
to
deserve
sort
that.
it out. Klopp
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
deserve that. And low-key, I don't even think Salah deserves that.
No, but Salah instigated it.
He instigated it, yeah, but I still don't believe that he will deserve the stick that he's going to get from Liverpool fans for doing that.
I think he does. If he doesn't come out and say that,
He
he
has
should have.
to.
He has to say.
He
He
has
has
to.
to say
he does have to say
like it was a disagreement, and like if you're the face of a club and you want your club to go in that direction, you have to be humble and say, like, I made a mistake. He's one of the best. He's the manager that made me.
And one thing
Like,
about
do you know
Salah,
what I mean?
one thing about Salah is even though we think that, you know, it might have got into his head, the whole wage thing and stuff, he deep down he's still a humble guy. So I expect him to come out and make a difference and just
After
say
talking
something.
about fire.
Listen, he has to. He's still
You're
African.
done.
He's still an African
he
man,
has
you
to,
know.
He has to.
That was the
he has to
African
have
side.
some pride. But, alright, cool,
And then the
let's-
African side of him also won't come
Yeah,
out and
that-
say I was
yeah,
wrong.
the pride, that
By the
man-
way, the African pride.
But no.
Yo, guys, you've reached halftime here at Keep It 90. If you like what you hear or see, make sure you give us a follow on all platforms. And also, make sure you comment as well. Would love to hear what you lot think.
Hazard over Salah.
Alright, let's move
It
on.
always
We've
has
only
been, always will be.
we've only
And
got
that
a
is it's cemented.
We've only got a few minutes left, so we've got to talk about some things that have happened in the Premier League recently. There has been a new Premier League law that has been put into place that means... Hold on, let me just get it out so I
Another
can
one.
read it properly. Premier League clubs have agreed, in principle, for spending cap known as anchoring to TV to earnings of the bottom club. So that means...
Sorry, before you say what it means, yeah, can I just say that was his TV skills right there. Do you
was
see that?
amazing.
That was
No,
amazing.
I was actually...
That
you
was
know what, I looking at him
sensational.
do it
Look
and
at
how he
How he
because
turned
he might not see it, but the way he was...
He was like,
getting it
actually,
all
let me
correct.
just...
And it was like, you
I
didn't...
saw what he was typing on his phone. He went on Google.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I must admit...
Sam, ladies and gentlemen.
Sam on the
lie.
six.
I wouldn't lie. The way you done it, and the thing is, at a point, yeah, and you know, like, I didn't want to make it look like I weren't backing you because I knew what you were saying.
Yeah. I was like, let me let him land. And I was like,
the way you
you added that nice.
That was top 10. That was top 10.
That was a
still.
smooth
Crumble under
landing.
pressure.
You lot are
Smooth.
so
Hey.
funny.
Nah, that
Wow.
was class.
Sorry,
That was
sorry,
class.
continue,
I'm glad you
continue.
clocked it.
You
I
clocked it as
well. But yeah, sorry, bro. We gave you extra time there, so you
You did, but you know what's so mad? The article's not even coming out. It's not coming out. So
We gassed it.
Yeah, you gassed me too hard. But so basically, it means, from what I understand anyway, is that it involves the total squad costs, including wages, amortized transfer fees, and agent payments. So, for example, if the lowest Premier League club is earning 100 million from TV rights, all of that stuff, that means that every club can only spend 5 times of that. So that would be like 500 million for every single club. So for the top clubs like Man City, United, and I think it was Villa as well, that didn't want this to be a thing, they're obviously saying we want to be able to spend more. Chelsea, on the other hand, yeah, per season.
Well, why do you want to spend more than 500 mil a season?
Yeah,
Because it almost what this is leveling the playing field, innit? And that's what the top clubs wouldn't want. Like realistically, Chelsea
I want it.
have said that they want it, I think it makes sense for them
course they
because
would.
they want to bridge the gap.
thought they
They want to bridge the
abstained.
gap. No,
Yeah.
that means they want it. So
Oh, I thought they said that. I thought they said that we ain't voting. I thought that's what it
no,
means.
that's what it meant, yeah.
I think it means. Let
Of
me
course they
double
did.
check.
Chelsea think they're smart. They spend
But I
$1 billion
thought-
and then say, yeah, no one else can do that. I thought that's you.
Is that what?
Abstaining means you're not doing
Abstaining means
anything.
you're not
like you're
voting.
not
yeah,
doing
so they're
it.
not. So they're not against it. So,
No,
so
as in,
Chelsea.
they're
Are you
not-
sure?
they're not
Yeah, so
voting.
Chelsea aren't against it, but they might not be for it, but they're not against it. There was clubs.
Yeah,
so
I think they said,
United,
like-
United, Villa,
Kinda
and
in
City.
between.
Yeah, so it's
United,
against-
Villa, and City are against it.
Of course,
But other
City,
clubs
isn't
like
it?
Arsenal, and Liverpool wanted it obviously because they've got the structures where it allows them to
Spend a certain
they
amount.
spend a certain amount
Yeah.
and it levels the playing field for them against like cities and
Yeah.
mainly City.
Yeah.
So what are we saying for that? Do you think that's a step in the right direction or?
I think I'm Chelsea right now. Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm for, but I'm also like against. I feel like it does level the playing fields right
Yeah.
now. It just seems like the same bottom three, well, the same bottom 10 is just the same. It's the same
Bottom
thing it's
10.
always been. Like really and truly, this kind of equals it, and it just ensures that we're not spending stupid amounts. Like you look at City, and you're like, bro, like
They can do
Chelsea.
anything.
you look at Chelsea, like there's
Yeah.
just so much money being spent, and the bottom clubs can't do that, so they have no chance. So they're just battling.
Step your money
It
up,
might-
man.
And I'm with.
But then again, it's like step your funds up, my boy. Step
But
it in.
I think that the biggest problem with that is that clubs that do have money still can't spend because of the fact that there's FFP, PSR, and
And
they're
this
not-
is
There's
this,
so
and this is
many
what I was gonna say,
caveats.
and I was
Yeah.
gonna say like, and it's similar to what we were talking about like all these new referee rules. Like, can we fix the rules that we currently have and get that in place before we add new ones? I just
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
we're not fixing
Things.
the issues. We're just covering
Building
the
on it.
cracks, and it's not.
Yeah.
And not that I'm the most clued up with all of this. I do need to do a lot more research. I've done a lot more recently as FFP's been striking everyone. But I mean, just in terms of, there just seems to be so many hazy lines, and we're just adding new things without patterning what's already here.
Yeah.
Let's pattern what's here.
Yeah.
Figure out a structure. Figure out what works. Then look onto it. We're just trying to find solutions to things that we still haven't fixed.
No, facts. There's definitely
Yeah.
definitely going to be loopholes and all of that stuff, but we'll see what happens with the rules. You know, as fans, we're just going to have to accept it anyway. Before we finish, a few shout outs for a few clubs that have been promoted. Crystal Palace Women's have been promoted
Yes, the locals.
to the WSL.
Come
They
on.
won the championship, so big them up.
Big up.
Shout out to Derby as well. They've been promoted to the championship. Anita didn't even know that they went down. That's how deep it was because you wouldn't really know. You just
Yeah.
think Derby be in a championship, but they went through a few financial things, went down. Now they're back up.
They got don't forget when Rooney and that was it was crazy.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
crazy.
so-
I remember that. Now. It's all coming back.
Shout out Derby. Potter potentially to Ajax. We'll see how that unfolds.
Hey,
That's a
I
big
saw
appointment,
that.
you know.
Yeah,
That's a
if
big
And
if
do you
he
know
does
what?
if he does
I
go,
think he'll cook.
I think Potter should go United.
I
if
think
he
he'll
if he
cook.
if he does go, I don't
think that
think
could be-
United would want
No,
him.
no, no, I
'cause he
think,
could crumble under pressure.
Southgate will probably come to Man United.
Look at these agendas.
Go on,
Hey,
Gareth.
Southgate's
I
up
know
there.
you want to.
Go on, Gareth.
Go on, Gary.
Go on, Gareth.
The last thing
Leicester City and Leeds.
The last thing is Leicester and Leeds. Leicester have gone up.
Officially,
Leeds,
they're back.
Leeds haven't officially gone up, have they?
Haven't.
No, it's after this weekend, I think.
Okay.
It's either Leeds or Ipswich, so that's going to be a big game.
I'd love to see Ipswich in the Prem.
Yeah, it'll
I'd
be
love-
interesting. But yeah, that's it for this week. Another episode of Keep It 90. Arsenal fans are buzzing. Chelsea fans are gutted. United fans are gutted as well.
Liverpool fans.
Liverpool
are destroyed.
fans are distraught. But let us know. Let us know your opinions. Let us know who you agree with, whether it's Klopp, whether you agree with Salah, whether you think this is going to be the start of the end for Liverpool. We want to know all your opinions on all the social media platforms. So yeah, we've got a few more weeks of this. See how the season ends. But we'll see you next time. Peace.
Yo, what's going on, peeps? Copes here with Keep It 90. If you enjoyed what you just saw, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube and keep up to date with us on all social platforms.